Okay, buddies, here we go through another book. This book is called Medieval Towns, Trade, and Travel. So it's all about movement. And you can see here you have what I'm guessing is a port in northern Germany, Hanseatic League. You can see the barks there. Those are the types of ships that were popular in Northern Europe in the Middle Ages. Barks is what they were called. B-A-R-Q-U-E-S. And you can see the men on horseback and other merchants inspecting all the goods coming off the ships. And looks like they have a bunch of salted fish, which was one of the major exports from that part of the world at that time. And then you have over here what looks like wool, which was another major export. And here we have an illustration of the Canterbury Tales. These are the pilgrims who are going to the holy site at Canterbury in England. We have a merchant here with a cart that's being pulled by a horse. Here we have the social hierarchy of the time. You have the king on top, followed by the nobles, followed by the lower ranking nobles, the knights, and then below them are the peasants who do all the work, all the farming. Here we can see a map of how trade went. So the trade went from China all the way through the Middle East into Europe, with most of the trade goods in the world being made in China. You can see you got a ship going across the Mediterranean, and then remember a bark up here, and that's actually like the longship up here in northern Europe. And this book is all about town defense. Look at these people up here manning this tower, so they could shoot anybody who tried to attack the town. Down here, we have an actual looting of a town. So you can see these soldiers with all their axes and halberds and things. They're trying to steal. They're stealing stuff out of the storehouse. Yeah, here you can see an illustration of knights on top throwing rocks and boiling oil down on knights on the bottom who have what looks like a siege tower up above them to protect them with a roof on it. You can see here this cool image of Constantinople. You can see the walls, and in the middle there's the big church, Hagia Sophia, at the very center of the city. This says, medieval tradespeople and town residents used the streets as sewers, sometimes clogging them with smelly waste. They also dumped garbage from their homes and businesses into nearby rivers, streams, and lakes. A successful way to attack medieval towns was to launch burning arrows above town walls. Fire spread quickly as the arrows ignited the town's wooden buildings and thatched roofs. So you can see the knights here waiting while the city burns down. You can see these blacksmiths here making either tools or weapons. They made swords, axes, they made farming equipment, they made horseshoes, all sorts of metal objects. And then these guys are embroiderers. They're embroidering a pattern onto cloth. These guys here are glass blowers. They're blowing glass by making sand really hot. This is a beautiful cathedral called Wells Cathedral in Cornwall. Here are students in the first universities. They're going there to learn grammar, arithmetic, astronomy, and music. Good students often went on to study religion, medicine, or law. You can see this street vendor here with loaves of bread that they've baked, and they've moved those around, selling them to people on the street. So you can see here this image of a fair in the Middle Ages. You have a fire eater there who shoves something hot down into their throat, This guy is going around selling fish. These guys are drinking beer out of the kegs. And there are different people selling different wares, meat, other things. There's soldiers standing guard. There's a monk. And there is a trained bear, the bear tamer, and everybody's watching. This is another map showing where goods come from. You can see all the spices, and there's a silkworm, all coming from China. And there's tea leaves, and other spices coming from China and the Middle East, going into Europe. And you can see up here with Europe, you can see textiles, stone, furs, and it doesn't show anything for the fish that they exported. Here we can see the Crusaders getting off a ship. There are the bishops, there are the knights walking out off the ship. And you can see here some pilgrims. And it looks like one pilgrim has died as they're moving his body. You can see here some people on a ferry going across a river, and there are noblemen going across a bridge. You can see here the Viking explorer, Leif Erikson, who actually reached the coast of North America. And here we can see Marco Polo, right here, who made it all the way to China from Italy. And then, lastly, we have an astrolabe, which has helped people on ships figure out where they're going, because they were able to use it to pinpoint the stars and know the right direction. And that's it.